Hello my friends, Sifu Jay here, Artist of Truth. Standing out here, the land of my grandfathers, listening to the frogs, the birds. What you can't see is the wind blowing through the field here. You may be able to hear it. My friend, the wind, as I talk about it. Interesting day, as I seem to say a lot these days. Took the beard off. I think I may have done that before the last video. No mosquito issues out here. I've had to think about a lot over such a long period of time, such a short period of time in the grand scheme of things. I hope you can hear me because the wind is picking up now. Still getting tons of requests for martial art training. I do have a few private students. Had to really get my life in order. Fall is coming. Well, technically, according to the position of the earth, fall is here, but the weather itself is not very fall-like. Maybe it is approaching. It's important to stay positive, even under great scrutiny from those around you, from your work, from your troubles in your mind. You can have a little bit of a broken heart. As long as you don't have a broken mind, you are capable of recovering. And I do get a lot of positive messages. I had a message just a few nights ago from someone wanted me to teach their child some martial arts, which I am happy to do. And the martial art, or martial arts itself, is one of those things that can be a very positive thing, depending upon your goal or the object of your training. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Little stuff blowing in there. Hope that when you watch these videos, all of you, my students, friends, you know, the very few people that actually watch these videos, that you take away the true message of everything. I've been making these videos for a while. Haven't quite got back to doing juicing videos, although I began recently to fast again at least once per week, sometimes twice. Doing the fasting, keeping the body in order, keeping the mind in order, studying, all of that. I'm not certain from where my positive attitude derives, from where it comes. Only know that it is there. And like all of you, it can waver. I can be angry. I can be sad. I can be anything that a human being is capable of being. Yet I do my best, especially under present circumstances and under any circumstance, to be positive. It's not fake. It's unrehearsed. It really is inside of me, inside of here and here. I'm very careful about how I direct my mind. Although over recent years I've been in and out of it, mind all over the place, seeing things I probably shouldn't see, saying things I probably shouldn't say, doing things I probably shouldn't do. But I keep coming back, I keep trying. Sometimes it takes tragedy and other things to put the old smack on you to get you back in line. I've had my share of it. I had a friend say to me something recently that probed my curiosity about content of my videos and the nature of my mind. It made me think about, what am I actually doing here? What am I trying to do, at least? I'm only trying to give a positive message. I've said this many times. I think I said it in the last video. Even if I'm incapable, or at least we're all capable, but if I don't go forward with the things that I'm trying to teach, it doesn't mean that you can't. The message is just to do your best, to be as positive as you can, to only subject your mind as much as you can. Only subject your mind to the things you want to see, that you want to feel, that you want to have, and not the things that you don't want to see and you don't want to have. Because that becomes a real problem. It does. And we don't see it until it's too late. It's like gaining weight. If you gained weight just like that, you would know right away, bam, doing the wrong stuff. But because it's a slow process, it's the habit of doing the wrong things, we only see it once it's so bad that you can't help but notice it. Like grass growing. Although we know it's growing every day, we usually only notice it once it's at a certain height. So, we have to create better habits. We have to maintain them. We have to continue to muscle through some of the exercises, some of the things that we need to do in order to improve, to become better. Constantly improve. I'm not talking about material possessions and achieving things and like new rims, but the acquisition of skill in some way. You can be very skillful at being dishonest, be skillful at being aggressive, be skillful at being hateful and angry all the time. You can be skillful at all of that. We don't think of that as a skill, but it definitely is something learned, something honed, something repeated. So when it comes to being positive, that's a skill. It's a skill that you pick up, that you hone, so that you don't respond incorrectly, so that you do respond in the right way during whatever circumstance arises. Whether that's an injury to yourself, a personal loss, or anything. So that you have the tool set, that you've honed those tools in a way that they're beneficial to your life, whatever that happens to be. Whether it's accounting or landscaping, painting, martial arts, music, anything. I do have a special appreciation for life. I feel that I do. I've had some conversations recently that maybe a few years ago would have set me off. At least that's what I'm told constantly. May have triggered some type of negative response. I don't know. And yet somehow I find a little bit of peace in the present circumstance. There are things that I greatly wish I could change. There are things that I will change. And there's a lot of things that most of you don't know. Some of you do. But I'm not here for any of that. I'm here to help you, to be as much of a positive influence as I can, regardless of what's going on in my personal life. I mean, I guess my personal life would matter to some of you, but it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Well, it shouldn't matter in such a way that it hinders you, prevents you. But I'm doing everything that I can. I'm clean. I have a clean body. I don't have any addictions to substance. But I have a lot of other things. Just like all of you, I have a lot of other problems going on in my life. I guess the core message is, how am I positive? How do I stay positive? I hear it all the time. Well, if you had been with me through some personal events, and there's a little camera there doing a lot of things that have went on in my life, surely you could find many many mistakes, many moments where maybe in that moment I wasn't as positive as I would like to be. It's just a moment in time. One step on the journey. We don't usually stop to pay close attention to every step. We're just walking. And that's what I'm doing. If you want to be positive, whatever that even means, if you want to have a better outlook on life, then do the stuff that gives you a better outlook on life. If that's doing yoga or meditation, or if that's your moment of doing anything that gives you peace, as long as it's a good thing that's not hurting others and it's improving you some ways, improving your children, your relationship, or your work, do that. Pick up the habits that you just feel fantastic afterwards. I do my best to have a lot of those habits. I have to. Hey, I need something to counter all those other things. Beautiful day, giant plane flying over. The wind blowing. Sound of nature. And very easily I could slip into depression or sadness. There are many events in my life that I could look at, and I said this to someone recently. I mean, how long can you stay angry without constantly thinking of that thought that keeps you angry, that makes you a little bit angry? Not very long, if you're honest with yourself. Same thing with sadness. We say we don't want to be sad, and yet we subject our minds to the things that bring sadness into our hearts, that make us feel heavy, that burden our lives more than they do help. I mean, I could surely look back upon my life as a younger man, before all the injuries and things, and instead of using it as this fond memory to bring happiness and completeness to the path thus far to here, I could look back and go, you know, wow, I didn't have pain here at that time. I didn't have pain here, here, and here, and all the places where I have pain. And yet I'm alive on this day to talk to you, to ask you to try my best to be an example of positivity, to ask you to be positive. And that chance was almost taken away from me. So instead of using that thought, I get this feeling, you know, it's a feeling of those moments, those days, standing right here where my children played so many times. Flowers that my children have picked, all of them, at one point or another for one of us. Just enjoying the blueness of the sky. The feeling of change. Whatever it is that you get from these videos, I hope it's just the inspiration to do what it is that you want to do. To never let people tell you that you can't do something. Let them tell you, but don't listen. Unless they say, I'm certain if you leap from this building, you cannot fly. I'm not talking about science. There are some things that you cannot debate. But I mean the aspiration to do whatever it is that you feel that you can do in life. How did anyone get anywhere? How did any great thing ever happen? Sometimes, a lot of times by accident. You know, there are questions that we don't even know to ask yet. So, therefore, we can't plan for it. We can't plan for it in our mind. Circumstances haven't risen up in reality yet for us to question it, and then to respond, and then to come up with this great idea and to move forward in life. Like meeting someone, falling in love, all of those moments. Could you have planned to fall in love? You could try. But you can't say, on this day I'm going to brush shoulders with someone. They're going to smile, we're going to say hello, and then one day I'm in love. The same thing with anything. As I leave the house today, I'm going to plan not to be in a car accident. And yet, a single circumstance changes everything. One decision, or maybe what appears to be one big decision on the shoulders of many little ones. I think that you understand what I'm trying to say. The dragonflies here remind me of many things and many days. They're everywhere. And because of certain events in my life, dragonflies will always have a very special meaning, but they're just dragonflies. But to me, there's something else. I won't hold you too long in this video. I appreciate every time a person watches a video, even if it's just 4 of you. And those of you that like the juicing videos and all of that, I know I keep saying it, but I promise you, I will have more soon. You hear that? Nature calling. In one of its many ways. I'll have the content for my Kung Fu channels and music. And they're just countless videos that I've recorded and never published. Some of them, maybe I can't publish now unless I'm doing like a documentary on my life. Books that are unfinished. And yet it's just life. We try to find this grand meaning of life. Kind of goes back to what I was saying about there's questions we don't even know to ask yet because we haven't arrived in that moment in the universe. Life is the same way. What is the meaning of life from one moment to the next? You could very easily just say necessity. But it wouldn't really suffice. Meaning of life, the only meaning there is to life is that we're alive and we're conscious of our experience. We want to suffer less. And we want to be happy more and have more joyful experiences. And that's all I'm ever saying. 1,000 different ways on these videos. If that's through changing your diet, changing your experience in some way to life, some experience to everything around you, that's really all there is in life. Everything else is an illusion. Our job, our work, our money, our possessions, necklaces and bracelets and everything. Even this thing that I use in order to keep track of a mantra, a momentum in my mind, count 1, 2, 3, keep the thoughts, the negative thoughts at bay, is still an illusion. At some point, maybe I'm just attached to using this whenever it could just be the mind. You know, I can concede all of those things for sure, but the core of life is just living in a conscious experience. Our consciousness, our realization that we realize we are here. That we have that moment to experience whatever is going on in our body, in our environment. That's the meaning of life. You know, separate from necessity. Food, water, not dying too early. So we have to shape our experience as best we can so that it feels to us positive and happy and joyful. And we shouldn't try at any cost to escape suffering. That's when we set ourselves up for failure. I know from personal experience where I thought I was enlightened, I thought I was past it. And I very quickly realized that I was not. Very much so that I was not enlightened. That was a quick one. Anybody in a relationship can figure that one out pretty fast. You think you're enlightened and someone's going to let you know you're not. And yet, I do feel lighter. And I don't just mean the lighter as this squirrelish figure that I maintain. I mean lighter in my mind, lighter in those feelings that just a moment ago had me gripped. Sound of gunfire in the distance didn't even startle me. How about that? So, when you're gripped by these heavy emotions, these heavy feelings, there is hope to be free from them. There's a way to be positive, and that way, I believe, is the realization that everything is happening at the same time. We tend to look at life as these little sections of moments, only localized to ourselves and our own experience. We're in our car, we're in our home, we're driving to wherever the next experience is, but our only experience is in that moment. You know, the lights in the city still going, the people are scuttling around between things, running from one area to the next, trying to find the thing that's going to make them happy. I don't think anyone leaves the house going, man, I wonder how terrible my day is going to be. I mean, some people do, and you may say it in a passing thing, but I mean, really, no one is born seeking suffering. You know, it's just a part of our physiology that we have to dislike pain in order to survive. We have to love pleasure and seek it. But it doesn't have to be at the expense of our lives. We can train ourselves to do it in a more skillful manner. What does it mean to be positive? I'm not certain. I just gave a lot of examples. Still not sure. I'm not sure. I'm willing to continue searching, to continue presenting whatever analysis that I have, whatever this is that I'm doing with all of you. Don't trust anything that I say, because I feel like everything that I'm saying can be tested. And if it can't be tested, then I don't know. I don't know how to give you another thing. You can figure out, you definitely can test what makes you happy and what makes you sad. Because if it's a material thing that you felt like brought you happiness in that moment, like a toy that was just so much a part of your childhood that eventually you left laying somewhere as you picked up the new toy, you quickly realize that we project happiness into every moment. I've had a lot of teachers drilling that in here, but I didn't always get it. And I'm not sure that I actually still do, but I'm trying. I'm doing the work to understand as best that I can. And again, like I said, sharing it with you to give you maybe a little bit of a prescription to try for yourself. And if it doesn't work, then cast it aside and keep watching those, a million view Tony Robbins videos and whatever makes you happy. Real happiness. Point yourself in the right direction. Keep walking. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. I appreciate a thumbs up, but we don't all agree. We don't all agree. Spice of life. From one moment to the next. I think we constantly jump to conclusions. We constantly do the things that aren't going to help us. All of us. But we all have the same potential. We may not all be the same, but we all have the same potential. We mostly have the same desires. We could train ourselves to be more skillful, to have a better life. Send me a message, send a bird with a letter on his foot. Come see some shows for Shay Wise. Check out Kennedy Wing Chun on here. There's no new content on that, but there will be. Training a gentleman who is a very skilled martial artist, a student of mine, and is now a good friend of mine, to do a lot of the teaching for me. And I have another friend who lives in West Ashley that I haven't seen in a while. Just so much going on. Was on the same path. Really good guy, good friend. And all of you, just even talking to this camera, I feel support. And I'm sure I'm just projecting it, but it does. It's like a therapy for me. It allows me to teach without just sitting and talking to myself, and without just writing. I write a lot, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Do what makes you happy, whether that's judo or anything. Do it, and as I said a moment ago, set your mind to whatever whatever the thing is, wherever you believe happiness is, I can tell you from my own experience, happiness is simply a projection. Stop yourself from thinking about the things, the moments, the things that bring you down. Set your eyes on the prize, old cliche. Put your feet in motion, get the momentum going, and never give up. Never give up. But let happiness be the goal. Let happiness be. Just like living. We never say, maybe, well, I can't speak for everyone. At some point in life, it's never like, I'm going to live when I get here. I'm going to live when I'm in this moment. We're just living, and that's how happiness should be. And happiness moves like everything, anger and emotion and pain and suffering. And everything is fleeting. It just means that every moment is precious. And everything that we do matters. Everything that we think matters. Subscribe, send a bird, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment. As always, love everyone. Talk with you soon. Bam.